Yeah, I hope. Yeah, now it is visible. Okay. So this is practical number 6, which we are starting today. That is study and implementation of activity diagram. Okay. So activity diagram, I want everyone to please be quiet. Yeah. So activity diagram, first of all, I'll tell you some important points about it. Okay, so it is a kind of diagram which describes the dynamic aspects of the system. Okay, how that we will be seeing. Okay, activity in the name itself. Okay, it is a flow chart. Remember this sentence. It is a flow chart to represent the flow from one activity to another activity. I'll give you one example. For an example, if we take now first scenario is ATM transaction, right? So if I start with the scenario, what would be how many activities I should be doing? Okay, so first is I should enter an ATM, right? Then I should insert an card. Then I should put the PIN. Then I should put the amount to be withdrawn, right? All these things are activities. Okay, then this activity, or you can say this flow, can be sequential, branched, or concurrent. Okay, how? That is one after the another, or one, you can say branched is nothing but if there are two scenarios, yes and no. So yes will have one um, kind of scenario and no will have the another kind of scenario. That I'll show it to you in the diagram itself. Okay. Next, now we are going to see these two things are important. Okay, so just remember, first part in activity diagram. First part, you will describe the dynamic aspects of the system. That is the modifications. Dynamic aspect is nothing but you are able to change. Okay, you are able to modify. And next, this is nothing but a kind of flow chart which helps us to represent the flow from one activity to another. Okay, so let's begin. Okay. So I'm going to start with activity diagram. Example number 1 is ATM transaction. Example number 1, ATM transaction. I want everyone to just open star UML. Open star UML and we will begin. Okay. Yeah, so I'll just share the screen so it's visible. So please write down the first example, ATM transaction for activity diagram. Okay, so let's just see how that ATM transaction has been done using activity diagram. And please pay attention, okay? Okay, so let's begin. I want everyone to pay attention, okay? So our example name is ATM transaction. So all of you will go to model from the menu tab. Click on model, then click on add diagram, and then we are going to select activity diagram. Model, add diagram, and activity diagram. Okay, you can see at the left hand side, all the components of activity diagram are been shown. Okay. And now, first of all, in those components, can you see there is an advanced activity and in bracket they have given advanced. Okay. You can just click on this arrow. Okay. You will see कि advance में all the activities will be shown to you. In it, please take the first one, swim lane vertical. Take the first one, swim lane vertical, like this. Take 3 swim lane vertical. Because we have 3 objects now in ATM transaction. So we will be taking 3 swim lane. Why are we taking swim lane? Because obviously it will look good when you will try to make an activity diagram. Okay. And then click on every swim lane and just increase. Okay. Or just drag it down like this. Just increase the size of it. Okay. After that, I'm going to give the name to every swim lane. So first I will give it as, obviously, who's the first person? Customer. Customer. Second, ATM machine. Third, bank. Okay. Yeah. So I want everyone to just finish till here. Yeah. And let me know, Aishwarya, after they finish, everyone. And be louder, okay? I'm not able to hear you. So Aishwarya, be louder after everyone finishes. Just let me know. Louder, Aishwarya. Huh? Huh, they are done. Okay. Be louder because your voice is thoda kam. Okay. Yeah. So now remember, second thing which you have to remember in activity diagram. While starting the activity diagram, we always start with the initial state. Can you see here at the left hand side? Initial state. And we end the activity diagram with final state. Okay, so that is only the difference. Okay, so I'm going to start with initial state. Okay, so initial state will start from customer, obviously. So take an initial state. Okay, so I have started with the scenario, taking a initial state. Now we will mention the activities. That is inserting a card, entering a PIN, entering the amount for withdrawn. Okay, so now I'm going to specify each and every activity with action component. Can you see at the left hand side? There is an action component, right? So take a initial state first. After that, I'm going to take an action component like this. Okay, and I'll write it. Insert the card because customer is going to insert the card now. Insert the card. Yeah, like this. Yeah, I'll repeat. Okay. To mention each and every activity in an scenario. Okay. We will be using action. Can you see at the left hand side, there is something called as action component. Okay. So we'll be using action. So how many activities will be there in ATM transaction? Entering a PIN, inserting a card, entering the amount, then taking the card back. All these activities should be mentioned using action. So I've taken an action from left hand side. Obviously, the activity will start from who is going to insert the card? Customer. So I'm putting it inside custom. And now To connect them, always use control flow. I repeat, for connecting two states, that is action state and initial state, use a control flow like this. Okay, now I'll go with the next one. Now, next thing will be the card will be validated. Who's going to validate the card? Obviously, ATM machine will give it to the bank. So I'm taking another action. I'll put it inside ATM machine and I will write the action as validate card. Okay, validate card. So obviously for connecting, we are going to use control flow like this. Okay, so ATM's job is to validate the card first. For validating the card, it is sent to the bank. So I'll take one more action. I'll put it inside bank and I'll write the message as validating card like this. Okay, and again using control flow, we can connect it. Yeah, finish till here everyone and then let me know. Okay, ah, is it done? Okay, finish and let me. Is it done? Can be louder, okay? Your voice is too low. I'm not able to hear. Okay, yeah, finish and let me know. Okay, fine. Let's go with the next one. Now, after validating the card, if you remember in our sequence diagram also, we had two different decisions. If the card is valid and what if the card is invalid? Same we are going to show it here, but using different components. Let's see how. Now, can you see at the left hand side, everyone, there is decision karke one component. Decision. Okay, click on that decision. And who's going, obviously that decision will come to ATM machine, right? Yeah, put that decision under ATM machine. Because ATM machine is going to tell now whether the card is valid or invalid. So let's take first. Again, I'll take a control flow from validating card. I'll connect it to this decision and you can write the message. First you connect it to the decision. Then I will show two different parts, card valid and card invalid. What if the card is valid now? Card is valid. He will ask you to enter the PIN. ATM machine will ask you to enter the PIN. Okay, so customer will enter the PIN. Okay, when will customer enter the PIN? When the card is valid. So here I'm writing a message as card valid. So if the card is valid, yeah, ATM machine will ask the customer to enter the PIN. Let's take one more action. What if the card is invalid? If the card is invalid, ATM machine will ask the customer to eject the card. There will be this message which will be shown on the screen, right? Yeah, so first just finish with card invalid and valid. So card invalid. Yeah, finish till here all of you. So this is when the card is invalid. Yeah, I'll put it here. So this is a decision, okay? It will tell you two different scenarios, one with yes and the another with no. So properly take a decision while connecting that control flow now. See to it ki whether you're connecting it properly. Okay? Connecting it to the decision which we have taken. You should just see to it it is getting connected properly. Okay, so I have taken two different conditions, one with valid, another with invalid. Let's finish with invalid first. ATM machine पे message आएगा eject card. What will customer do? He will take the card, right? So customer के यहाँ पे I'm just putting take card. Okay, you can connect this eject card to take a card. Okay, and as I told you, if the card is taken away, okay, then the process is over, the scenario is finished. And I have told you in activity diagram, we have to always start with initial state and end with final state. So here, after I take the card out, obviously I have to finish with the scenario. Then see at the left hand side, there is final state. Put it here and connect it to the take a card wala part. So here I am reaching the final state. So this is with the invalid condition. हम लोग अभी आगे बढ़ेंगे with the valid condition. Finish till here and let me know everyone. Okay, I hope it's done at your side. Now we will check for the valid condition. Okay. So let's check what would be the situation if the card is valid. Okay. So when the customer is asking or when the customer is asked to enter the PIN, obviously the PIN will be entered on the ATM machine. Right. So again, we take an action. We put it here and we write the message as PIN entered. Okay. We write the message as PIN entered after the card is valid. So I'll connect this enter PIN to PIN entered. And again, the PIN will be validated as we validated the card here. So here we are going to write validating PIN. See, since we know the process, it's very easy to build the diagram. Okay. So PIN entered and validating PIN. Now here again I have to show the condition, whether it is yes or no, whether the PIN is valid or not. Chalo, now you people will do by yourself. The conditions you are going to show if the PIN is valid or if it is invalid. So please see to it quickly. Okay. Now I am moving ahead. I hope everyone till here has finished. Let me know, Aishwarya. Is it done? Okay, okay. Yeah, okay. So let's move ahead. So now when I validate the pin, okay, I'll just move bit down so it's visible to everyone. Okay. Yeah. So now let's start. Again, I'm going to take a decision, right? So take a decision, put it under ATM machine. Now I have to tell whether the pin is valid or not. First, I would connect this validating pin to this control flow like this, right? And then we will see if the pin is valid or invalid. Okay, now tell me one thing. If the pin is invalid, should I again write eject card, take the card? What can I do? Is there some other way? Yes? No, for invalid I'm asking. Do I need to write all those steps again? Or can I simply connect here, take a card? Yes, we can, right? So see, I'm directly connecting this control flow here and I'll write it as pin invalid. Okay. So no need to mention all the things again. Fine. Then if the pin is valid, let's see the positive part. Okay. So if the pin is valid, obviously they will ask you for entering the amount. So here let's write enter amount. Okay. And again, I'm going to connect this decision here. And in message, I will write PIN valid. If the PIN is valid, then ATM machine will ask the customer to enter the amount. So who's going to enter the amount? Customer. Okay. Now, after entering the amount, also there is one scenario for checking the balance. Right. So we can obviously take one more action where the balance will be checked under bank. Check balance. Yeah. And you can connect this enter amount to check balance. Yeah, first finish till here everyone and let me know. See, process, I am not going to explain it to you because we already know how the ATM transaction is done. We are going to see how it has been shown in a diagram. अभी ये सब प्रोसेस तुम लोग को बाय हार्ट नहीं करना है कि पिन एंटर करो, अमाउंट एंटर करो, बैलेंस चेक करो, ये सब पता है, राइट? सो वी हैव टू जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड कि ये डायग्राम में कैसे लेके आना है. ओके, या फिनिश टिल हियर. Yeah. Why your voice is so low, Aishwarya? Are you near the mic?
Yes, I am.
Then why is it so low? Okay. Now, after the balance is checked, okay, obviously the customer is asked to take the amount. Okay, so if the balance is sufficient, so take money. Okay, so the money is taken here, and then here you can write the amount is debited. See, I'm just adding on my own. Okay, so it's upon you what all messages you want. Amount will be debited at the bank side, right? So I'm taking one more decision here, students. Okay, which will check for sufficient and insufficient balance. Okay, so first check balance will have the scenarios. Okay, so if there is sufficient balance, the amount will be debited. Okay, so here I'll just write the message sufficient balance. Okay, but what will happen when the amount will be debited? When the money will be taken, right? So I'll just connect take money to this debit amount. So after you take the money, the amount will be debited. And if the balance is insufficient, then what will happen? Put the sufficient balance at the left hand side like this. Okay. And if it is insufficient, then the balance will be shown on the screen. Okay. First finish till here, then we are going to use a new component. Okay. And let me know after you people finish. Aishwarya, let me know after they finish. Is it done? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Okay. I'll wait. Finished it here quickly. Now I'm going to tell you use of some new component which is present at the left hand side. How are you going to use it?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let's move ahead. Okay. Now can you see here at the left hand side, there is one component named as join. Okay. See everyone, please take a look at the left hand side, join. Why this join is used? This join is used to connect two activities. Okay. Means if two activities are giving me the same result, then I'll be using join. Okay. Now I'm going to use join. So from the left hand side, just click on that join everyone. And the another click should be on this line or on this control flow, which is connecting take money and debit amount. Put that join on that line like this. Okay. So after you take the money and the amount will be debited, the balance will be shown on the screen. Right? That is on the ATM screen. So please take join like this, put it on the line. Okay. Now I'm going to take a decision again, because to connect a join, you need a decision always. Join and merge. Can you see there? You have a join and merge. Okay, so every time you would need a decision. Okay, so I'm going to take a decision. I'll connect it with the join like this. And on the ATM machine, you will put a activity as show balance like this. Okay. So it's upon you. As I told you, the output, that is the diagram, will be different for everyone. So it's how good you use your brain. Okay. So I'm going to use join, which will show us the balance after the money is debited and the amount is taken by the customer. But if you remember, see, I have not shown insufficient balance का condition. राइट तो अगर इनसफिशिएंट बैलेंस है वो भी बैलेंस आप लोग को दिखाया जाएगा राइट एटीएम स्क्रीन पे सो लेट्स जस्ट टेक दिस नाउ सी हाउ एम आई कनेक्टिंग आई वांट एवरीवन टू पे अटेंशन हियर प्लीज पे अटेंशन ऑन द शेयर्ड स्क्रीन या सी हाउ एम आई कनेक्टिंग कैन यू सी दिस सफिशिएंट बैलेंस का डिसीजन ओके नाउ यू आर गोइंग टू टेक one more control flow from that decision to show balance like this and wo thoda you can extend it see like this, and you can write the message in it as insufficient balance. Okay, yeah, insufficient balance. Now see, even if the balance is insufficient, it will be shown on the screen. The balance will be shown on the screen. Okay, so see how I taken this line which is showing you the insufficient balance. Just show it correctly, that's it. After the balance is shown, obviously they will ask you to eject the card. So obviously eject card message will appear on the ATM machine. So again, you can just connect this show balance to eject card. And after that eject card message is shown, customer is going to take the card. So just finish till here quickly and let me know. Is it done?
Ma'am, can you explain why did it use the joint connected directly to it?
Louder, louder.
Can you explain why you use the joint connected using control flow too, right?
Yes, we can. We can directly also connect it, but I have to show you na use of those components. So I've taken join. That's it. Okay. Yeah. And after taking the card, is the diagram over? What I have told you? Okay, when I start with activity diagram, I should start with initial state. And when I end with it, I should finish with final state. Yeah, that's correct. So now after taking the card, how am I going to end my diagram? Take a final state, put it here and connect it with control flow. That's it. Yeah. So here we finish with the diagram. Okay. So see, you know what? The scenario we already know. अभी ATM transaction हम सब लोग ने किया रहेगा. So we know the process. ठीक है? डायरेक्टली एटीएम मशीन में जाके आप लोग पिन नहीं डालते. फर्स्ट यू नीड टू इंसर्ट कार्ड. वी नो द प्रोसेस, राइट? मैं यहाँ पे प्रोसेस नहीं एक्सप्लेन कर रही हूँ तुम लोग. ओके, वी आर जस्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि हाउ टू क्रिएट अ डायग्राम बेस्ड ऑन द सिनारियो. दैट्स इट. ठीक है, तो ये बाय हार्ट मत करो सिनारियो. जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड. यू कैन डू इट बाय योरसेल्फ, बट जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड. I hope it's done. Yeah, if you have finished with this, please take a screenshot. Okay, and put it in the chat saying key whatever. No, just put it in the chat. I will be seeing it. In Teams only you can put it, or you can send it on WhatsApp. And second scenario, I'll tell you. Second example, everyone will do. I'll just give you 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. Now it's 3:10. I will check your diagram by 3:25. Okay. So the second thing is, second example for this particular diagram. So just finish till here, then I'll tell you what is the second example. That's online transaction, or you can say online shopping. So second example, you can start everyone. I'm giving you time till 3:25. Only 15 minutes given. Okay, see whether everyone has finished with the diagram. And someone will get the register. And someone will please take the attendance. Yeah, so your example number 1 is done. I hope everyone has finished. Yeah, please check someone if everyone has finished. Any of the volunteer, take a round. Just check whether everyone has finished with this diagram. Quiet without talking, please. No one is going to talk.
Yes, ma'am, they are done.
Yeah, okay, good. So everyone, I'm giving you 15 minutes. Just start with online shopping. A simple scenario, okay? Online shopping. You have to take a product, purchase it, payment, that's it. So I'll give you one hint, okay? If you remember, I had given you this example for sequence diagram also. So वहां पे जो objects आपने लिया था, वही objects यहीं पे भी लो. जैसे for ATM transaction, we have taken the same objects, na, which we had taken in sequence diagram. Do it same for online shopping also. Chalo quickly and let me know after you finish. $325. I'm going to start with the next diagram. Okay, so I want everyone to finish. Don't chit chat there, please. Yes, please stop talking. Please at least try for online shopping activity diagram. Please at least just check. Yeah, one of the volunteer from batch 1, please take a round in the lab. See whether everyone is doing it or no. Yes, sweetie, are they both doing? Hmm. Okay. Yeah, last bench, is he working on it? Sure, na? Hmm. Last 5 minutes, huh? Then I'll begin with the next practical. Okay now? Yes, you can send me that diagram whenever you're free. Okay. So for now, no one is going to send, right? because first example also no one has sent yet. So I'll begin with the next practical. Okay. So please pay attention. Those example number 2 which I give for each diagram is for your practice. So please be clear, guys. Okay. So let's move with practical number 7. Okay, I'll just share the screen. 7 and 8 are very kind of simple and interrelated to each other. Okay. So I'll just explain it to you quickly. Yeah, so I hope this is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So let's begin. Please just write down the name of the practical. Study and implementation of component diagram. Study and implementation of component diagram. I'm going to just explain you both the diagrams together because both are interrelated to each other. Okay, component and the last diagram. So first, please write it down. Practical number 7, study and implementation of component diagram. So first, when I say component, what is it? Okay, it has been explained here in the very first point. It is used to break down a large object-oriented system into smaller components. Okay, that is, if I'm breaking a system into modules, each module is called as a component in simple language. Okay, so I have a application, okay, or a software, and that software is divided into modules. Just say pages, web pages जैसे होते हैं website में. We have about us का page, then we have contact us, then we have services, then products, right? So each and every module is a component. Okay. Then next thing, which you should remember. Okay. Now this thing you have to remember. A component is a single unit of system which is replaceable and executable. Okay. So what am I saying? Component is not the overall system or a software or an application. It is a single part of it. Okay. Part of a system is called as component. In simple language, you can remember like this. Part of a system or an software is called as an component. Okay. Okay. So now the implementation details are hidden from the user. Okay, obviously, now if you're visiting any website, it would be Amazon, Flipkart. Can you see there? The backend process is hidden from you all, right? It is not shown. Correct. So here also, what is the main thing you have to remember? Component is nothing but a part of an system. Okay, or you can say single unit of an system is component. Okay, or when you break down a system into smaller parts, you call that each part as a component. That's it. Okay, and the implementation detail is hidden from the actual user. How it is implemented is not needed. We are only happy with the services provided, right? It would be Flipkart, Amazon, whatever. Fine. So now I'm going to begin with the diagram. So very first example is very similar. Now pay attention to this. See, now please pay attention. Example number 1 in component diagram is ATM transaction and example number 2 is online shopping. Vice versa for the last diagram which I am going to teach you. Okay, first example I will be teaching you online shopping and second you have to do it by yourself, which is ATM transaction. And both the diagrams are really very easy. I want everyone to pay attention for this. So let's begin. Example number 1, ATM transaction. Please open star UML, all of you. Okay. Yeah, I'll just share the screen. Okay. So now please pay attention. So example number 1 is ATM transaction. Please pay attention for component diagram. The easiest diagram among all the others which we have seen. I mean both the diagrams. Okay. So let's start. I hope the screen is visible to all of you. 1 minute, huh? There is some issue at my side. Yeah. Quite. Okay. Let's begin now. Yes, sorted. Okay. Now I want everyone to pay attention. Quite. So we are on practical number 7, component diagram. Please click on model, then add diagram. And in add diagram, you're going to select component diagram, which is the 5th one from the top. Okay. Now only 3 components I'm going to use, okay, in this diagram. And these diagrams, that is practical number 7 and 8 wala diagrams, are important for your embedded system projects, IoT projects. Okay. Then, so let's just start. First of all, can you see here, the scenario is ATM transaction, right? So we would be checking out okay, how many objects were there in ATM transaction. So we will specify it using a component. Can you see at the left hand side, there is a component, right? Just click on it and give one click on the screen. And first component obviously in ATM machine would be, in ATM transaction would be ATM machine. Okay. Then one more I'll take, customer is there, right? So you can write customer or you can specify customer console. That is customer on the screen, which he has to do his project on or the transaction on. Then we can have bank. Yeah. So please just take 3 components, all of you like this. Okay. And see, if you want na extra components also you can add, like as an if I'm adding ATM machine, I have, see these 3 are the important components. I mean the objects, correct? ATM machine, customer console and bank. Now, if you want to add something new, now what new can I add in ATM transaction? We can say I can add a card reader, right? Which will help me to validate the details in my card. So let's just add one more. Take one more component. See, this is optional, okay? Card reader. So as I said, it's upon you. What all components or objects you want to add. Yeah. Finish till here, everyone first. Card reader. So I've added 4 objects, okay? That is 4 components. Now the second thing which we are going to add, it is called as an interface. Okay, the second thing which we are going to add is an interface. Okay. Why is interface used? See, the recording is also I'm starting because whenever you refer to the recording, if you don't remember, And you can just go through the recordings. Okay, so the recording is also on, but you people listen. Okay, so why is interface used? Interface is used to explain the use of a component. I repeat, why is an interface used? Interface is used to tell the usage of an component. Interface tells you the use of an component. Interface tells us the use of an component. Okay, now how? Now, if after I just specify in the diagram, it would be more clear. So after you take all these 4 components, I want everyone to take interface, which is present at the left hand side. Take an interface and put it here. सब components के सामने interface आना चाहिए. तो पहला interface, ATM machine. What is ATM machine going to do? I have told you to write the use, right? ATM transaction. So write it like this, ATM transaction. Okay. Customer console. What will happen in customer console? I mean, the transaction will happen, right? It is a user interface. You can specify. So taking an interface, I'll put it here. It is an user interface. Okay. Then we have a card reader. What is card reader going to do? It can be used for verification, right? Or validation, whatever you want, you can write validation. And bank is used for telling the account information. So take one more component, interface. And you can write it down here. Account information. Yeah, just specify all these things quickly. Yeah. In front of every component, you should have an interface. Is it done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, obviously, the diagram looks incomplete because we need to connect them. Right? So now how do I connect interface and component? Always for connecting interface and component, listen to me carefully. Always for connecting interface and component, use interface realization. Use interface realization. Okay. So see, how am I going to use it? So first from ATM machine to ATM transaction. Then again from customer console to user interface. Okay. Then again, bank to account information and card reader to validation, like this. Yeah. Okay. After this is done, now obviously something is missing. I need to connect those components now with each other. I can't leave them as it is. Right. Matlab, I need to see how they are connected to each other. So let's see. Okay. So 1 minute. Now we are going to use something called as dependency to connect two components. Listen, please do listen. To connect two components, I'm going to use dependency. To connect two components, I'm going to use dependency. So obviously, I will connect ATM machine and customer console because ATM machine पे ही customer console है, right? Then again, ATM machine should be connected to bank also, like this. And then customer console can be connected to card reader. It should be connected to card reader. That's it. Okay. So this is nothing but I'm just showing the relationship between components. Okay. ATM machine will have a customer console and obviously ATM machine will communicate with the bank also. Then customer console will be connected to the card reader, right? That is where the validation will be done. Okay. So this is how, here we finish with component diagram. See how easy it is. Okay. So just finish till here and I'll start with the deployment diagram also because it is quite similar. So I wanted to finish both the diagrams together because those are very similar to each other. Examples I'll tell you later for both the diagrams. But first to finish, I'll give you 2 minutes to finish till here and I'll start with deployment diagram. Let me know, Aishwarya.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, everyone is on. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, yes.
Everyone has
I thought
completed.
you're talking with them. Ha, bolo. Yeah, tell me.
Everyone has completed.
Huh?
Everyone has completed.
Everyone is हाँ यार. Okay, fine. आपका voice बहुत ही low है. ठीक है, fine. So this is component diagram. Okay. Now I'll be just starting with deployment, and now you will see how similar it is. अभी पटक से इसको revise करो चलो. Components, how we mention components? We mention it with the name of objects. What is interface? Now listen, please. What is interface? It will tell you the use of component. Okay. And then what is the next thing? How we connect two components using dependency. Fine. Now I'm going with deployment diagram. I want everyone to just pay attention. Okay. So now let me just stop sharing the screen. Yeah. Okay. Now I want everyone to just pay attention for deployment diagram. Okay. Very, very important diagram. The last diagram which we are going to learn is about deployment. Obviously, that is the last stage also in software engineering, if you remember. Yeah, so practical number 8, I'm going to share the screen. I hope it's visible. Okay, quiet all of you, please. Yeah. So please write down the name of practical number 8. Study and implementation of deployment diagram. Okay. So about component diagram, I have already told you it is nothing but breaking down a system into parts. And each part is called as component. Now, what is deployment diagram? Now, this deployment diagram is nothing but it will, now, yeah, in the very first sentence they have given, what all points you have to remember, see. In the first point, it will visualize the physical hardware on which the software will be deployed. Okay. So here in deployment diagram, I'm going to talk about the hardware, that is the infrastructure. Okay. Or you can say the backend process. Okay. And then the next thing which you have to remember, it involves the nodes and their relationships. Okay, what does it involve? The nodes and their relation. What is a node? That I'll explain it to you. In deployment diagram, we have node instead of component. Okay, जैसे component diagram में हम लोग ने component use किया था. In deployment diagram, we are going to use nodes and we are going to show the relationships. Okay, then quiet all of you, please. Yeah. Next part which you have to remember, it shows the relationship between nodes. See, here you can see. Yeah, it involves many nodes and the relationship is shown using communication path. So for connecting the nodes, obviously I'm going to use dependency. So in component diagram, if you remember, for connecting components, we had used dependency. Same for deployment diagram also. Okay, no need to write it down. Just understand the points which I am highlighting it. Okay, otherwise this document will be sent to you, but not with the diagrams. Diagrams you have to draw and involve by yourself. Yeah. So now let's begin. Example number 1. I want everyone to just write it down. Example number 1, online shopping. Example number 1, online shopping. Yeah, please open star UML. And let's begin with the diagram. Okay. Fine. So let's begin with deployment diagram. And the first example is online shopping. I want everyone to click on model. Please click on model. Then click on add diagram. And then click on deployment diagram. It is below component diagram. Okay. Click on deployment diagram, model, add diagram, and deployment diagram. Okay. Yeah. So now the name of the example is online shopping. Now, how do we specify? As I told you, I'll focus on the backend process. Correct? So let's begin. Now, as again and again, the name which was given in the theoretical part, which we just saw, nodes, right? So here, instead of components which we had used in component diagram, I'll be taking nodes. Okay. So take a node. Can you see at the left hand side? Just go below and you will see under deployment, there is the first component which is named as node. Take node and put it on the screen. Okay. And you first, as I told you, backend, I'm going to specify. That is all the implementation will be shown here. So first I will write web server. In online shopping, what all implementation details will be there? So first I'm going to write web server. You can take one more node and you can write database server. Database server like this. Okay. Then what we have, one more I can take application server. See, it's upon us. Okay. What all things are used for online shopping? What all implementation details are used? Okay. Then we have payment, right? We have a payment server also now. So I'm writing payment. Then one more node you can take and you can write order details. So I'm just mentioning it on my own. Okay, so it's upon you. What all implementation details you remember. Yeah. So here I have taken these 5 nodes. I feel these are the implementation or front end and the back end of, the back end of the given scenario, which is online shopping. Yeah, just finish till here and let me know.
Ma'am, can you zoom in a bit?
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, better. Yeah. So I'm just mentioning the implementation details for our scenario, that is online shopping. Now, if you remember, we had used interface in component, right? Why was that interface used? Why was interface used in component diagram?
To tell the usage of a component.
To tell the usage of the component. What is the use of the component? Similarly, here I'm going to use artifact. Okay, so I told you both the diagrams are related to each other. Okay, so let's use an artifact. Just go at the top from the left hand side. You can see the second name is given there, which is artifact. Okay, just click on that artifact and let's put it inside every node like this. Okay, so inside web server, what all things will be there? Username, okay, and password, right? So taking one more artifact, I'll write password. Okay. Then inside database server, why is it used for maintaining the database? You can write maintain database. Maintain database. Okay. And then we have application server. What will be there inside the application since it is online shopping? Products. Okay, so you can take one more artifact. You can write products like this. Then inside payment, anything, ATM, debit, credit, internet banking, whatever. Payment ke andar you can write debit, credit, and one more you can mention. Okay, yeah. First, either one I'll write. First of all, ATM. Then one more, it can be internet banking. And in order details, you can have product ID, order ID, whatever. Order ID, okay. Or product ID. Yeah. So here, using an artifact, we have seen what all things will be there inside every node. That's it. Okay. Yeah, please mention it properly, all of you. Yeah, now what is missing here? Obviously, the last part would be connecting the nodes. So now, as I told you in component diagram, as we have mentioned dependency for connecting two components, here also in deployment diagram, I'm going to use dependency. Okay, so it's like, let's just connect them. So database server will be related to web server, right? Username and password will go there, na? Then we have, even this database server will have payment and order details. Then you can say this products, after purchasing the products, the payment should be done. Yeah, just connect them. That's it. If they are related, obviously, if they are related, then only you try to connect them. Please see to it properly. Okay. So this was deployment. So just finish and let me know. Yeah, some volunteer will after finishing your diagram, some volunteer will take a round seeing to it that this diagram is completed. Is it done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So here we finish with the deployment diagram. Okay. Now, just a minute. Now, as I told you, both the diagrams are very much similar to each other, right? So now, here obviously I finished with all the diagrams and our practicals also. But yeah, I need to just share this with you, and this needs to be completed. Now I'll give you just 10 to 15 minutes and then I can leave you. But yeah, attendance, everyone has taken. You have taken attendance, Aishwarya? Attendance लिया आपने?
नहीं मैम.
हाँ लो अभी जरा. By the time मैं टाइप करती हूँ और शेयर करती हूँ.
Right attendance. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 absent, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, Hema, 27, 28, 29, 31, 32, 33, 33, 34, 35, 36, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 49, 50, 51 present, 52 present, 54, 54, 55, 52, November present है ना? 55, 56, 56, 57, 58, 54 absent है क्या? Yes, ma'am, you have done the attendance.
Okay, I'll give it to them for signing. How many are there total present in the lab right now? Why so less? Acha, Kate. Okay, fine, fine. Yeah. Yeah, for now, everyone will please pay attention here. Okay. Yeah, and I want everyone to just note it down. And don't worry, one more session I will keep at least for 1 hour to tell you about all the practicals. Okay. So in total, we have finished 8 practicals. That many will be there for your SC practicals. So please write down, just I'm talking about 7 and 8 today. And I have told ma'am for one more session. So Sarojini ma'am will let you know whenever that session would be for this batch. And 1 hour would be only for the explanation of all the diagrams. Okay. And how the manual should be, how the journal should be. So I'll just clear all the doubts. That would be the last session. So for now, just pay attention, all of you. Practical number 7, we have finished with component diagram. We have finished with example number 1, right? Okay. And example number 2 is online shopping. And in deployment diagram, I have finished with online shopping. So you can use the same components here also. Okay. So I have just given these examples, vice versa, for both the diagrams, one for component and deployment. I want everyone to note it down. And I want each and everyone to send me the diagrams. That is example number 2. Example number 1, you must be doing it. Okay. You must take the screenshot and put it. Okay. I'll be telling the CR also what is to be done for the journal. Okay. CR is sleeping there, I think. Glory. Yeah, I can see here. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So example number 1, ATM transaction. Example number 2, everyone, please do see to it that you're starting with this example. And again, for practical number 8, deployment diagram. Example number 1, online shopping we have finished. And example number 2, ATM transaction. You can refer component diagram for same. Okay. Because as I have told you, instead of component, here we have node. Instead of interface, here we have artifact, and dependency we have in both the diagrams, right? So that is not an issue. So please write down this quickly. Okay. So even if I finish with all the practicals today, I'll be having one more session. Okay. For at least for 1 or 1.5 hours. Okay. Where we will discuss about all the 8 diagrams. Okay, which we have finished, and I will tell you okay, how the manual or journal will be made. So please be present for that session. Okay, this week only we will just manage to take that session, and I will end up with your practicals. Even for batch 2 also, I am taking the session on Wednesday. Okay, so let's see when I am getting it for batch 1. So let's see. Fine. So everyone has noted this down. So example number 2, you have to please do it by yourself, all of you. Okay, make sure ki you're doing example number 2 by yourself. Okay, and if any doubt you have, you can anytime message or call me. Okay, I hope everyone has noted this down. Or should I share it once again?